All right. Hello, everybody. Sorry, I had a little bit of a technical difficulty before coming on air today. Microphone wire's a little bit loose. So let me make sure it holds out okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of New Earth TV Live. A bit of a technical difficulty here, but oh well, we're on the air. Thank you, everybody. Glad to see you all here on Facebook, on YouTube, for the 7th episode of New Earth TV Live. So we are going to be getting into group healing here very shortly, and we're going to be getting into Q&A as well too. I also have a little mini presentation for you guys today. Also, hello everybody, Australia, welcome. Everybody from around the world, always glad to see you guys. Let me just get myself in order here. We're going to firstly start off with some announcements, and then we'll be getting into a short mini presentation, and then into group healing, and then into Q&A. So here's some announcements to come.
The latest revelation in alternative healing has arrived. The Healing Code Cards, a spiritual technology unlike anything else. Through the power of sacred geometry imbued with pure source energy, physical ailments can become eliminated and detoxified from your body. 36 cards specifically designed to work on the major areas of the body, encouraging natural recovery and increased vitality. Working with the cards are easy, and their healing results are profound. Download our collection of free sample cards so you can experience results for yourself. And don't forget to view our customer testimonials. Our printed Healing Code card deck is available now with shipping available worldwide. Visit our website at healingcodecards.com.
Beautiful, sacred geometrical clothing, apparel, and accessories imbued with spirit source energy to heal, rejuvenate, detoxify, and strengthen the body. Shop now at healingcodeshop.com. Okay, so again, the Healing Code Cards Mind Deck printed edition is now available. I do have updates. The Mind Deck is going to be on Amazon.ca and Amazon.com next week. Okay, I'm thinking probably around midweek, maybe between Wednesday, Friday next week. Once they are officially available, I'll be making announcements on Facebook and on YouTube and on MeWe and on Telegram. Okay, because I'm on some other platforms as well too. So I'll be making some big announcements once that officially shows up. I'm just waiting for Amazon right now. I've already sent the boxes out. The cards are already sent to them. They have to receive them. They have to put it in the store, everything like that. So once that's all done, then yes, we will have the Mind Deck available through the platform of Amazon. So the other announcement is Earth, the Grand University, Adronis Yawning, which is happening tomorrow, January 30th. I think we got about a couple more registration spots left over, so you guys better grab them real quick. I don't think there's many left. Maybe about 3, 4, 5 of them in that way. So grab them real quick while they last. This is going to be a really amazing channeling presentation for Adronis. He's going to share a lot about incarnation. He's going to be sharing a lot about, the whole game of Earth, the game of incarnation. Upon Earth, what we're here to learn, everything, right? So everything under the sun, I'd say, in the best way that we can do under 2 hours. Plus, there'll be questions and answers as well, too, from Adronis as well. So some people ask me again, is it okay if I send email questions? Well, I won't be able to look at them, right? So I'll be on the room, I'll be on Zoom. So I'm just mainly going to be accepting questions through the webinar. Okay, so basically for those who attend the live webinar on Zoom are going to be the ones that are going to be able to ask the question. Be the ones that ask the questions. Sorry, guys, I'm still getting myself composed here. Are going to be the ones that ask the questions as well too. Zach Hader is also going to be joining me on the Zoom call tomorrow, and he will be co-moderating this event as well too. Okay, and of course on Sunday we have the Spirit Ambassador Classroom as well. That's happening at 11 a.m. Pacific. You guys can just go to New Earth TV Live. There we go. You can go to New Earth TV Live, sign up for free, or you log in, and you just go to the events page. You'll see the Spirit Ambassador Classroom Module 7 that will be happening this Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific. We're going to be talking about spirit commands. We're going to be talking about spirit codes, the very technology that is in the Healing Code Cards deck. And this is going to be part one of a presentation. And then the next week of a Spirit Ambassador classroom will be part two. So there's going to be a lot more. You're going to be learning the basics of how you can apply spirit codes as well too. So I'll be teaching that in the Spirit Ambassador classroom. So it's a very big class. So I'd recommend you guys checking it out. All right. So again, Newark TV Live, go ahead and sign up for free. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with today. So Brad, what's this mini presentation that you're talking about? It is about keeping up with the lifting energies of the Earth's frequency. All right. So the Earth is moving into a very powerful shift right now, as we're all noticing. But she's moving up the higher ground. She's not going down here. She's going up here, right? And so the whole key is that we are learning ourselves to go along with her frequency. And what does that mean? It means that we're being very, very aware of what we're still holding on to, right? Of course, last week, I went on a little bit of a rant relating to politics. And I basically consider myself now pretty much apolitical, which is great. It's liberating. It's like the shackles are off, right? It's very, very liberating from that. But we're mainly just keeping track of where we're going as a person, right? And seeing our own personal collective. Are there things that are still causing me to buckle down here, to feel like I'm shackled, to feel like I'm conditioned, to feel like I'm, in between a rock and a hard place right now? When we're moving up into the higher earth frequencies, we're letting go. We're releasing everything. Well, what's one of the best ways to do this, to move up into the earth frequencies? Well, that involves the BCR technique, right? The BCR technique, the TC technique, love energy, right? We are constantly just working with ourselves. Like I said, it's not just a one-hit thing, right? It's not like that's a best hit, a one-hit wonder, and bam, hey, okay, guys, all of a sudden I'm good. I don't have to do any more work. I'm just sailing from up here. No, you have to continue to work because you're always in a state of flux, right? You're constantly meeting people. You're constantly going places. You're working with family. You're working with friends, your career, whatever it is. You're always in a state of flux. You're always moving. You're always being a part of this world. For you to not be a part of this world, well, maybe you go into a cave. Maybe you meditate for 20 years. Okay. If that is certainly something that's at your disposal, then go ahead. But I'd say for a great majority of us, no, we're not here to go and meditate inside a cave. We're not here to live off a rice bowl. We're not here to have alms, right? We are here because we are experiencing the modern world. And this is what I would actually consider to be the bravest people. The bravest people go out into the modern world. The bravest people actually start to mingle with other people, regardless of their polarities. Where you have a sweetheart, girlfriend, boyfriend, where you have a wonderful neighbor, you have great friends, maybe you have good family, or maybe everything is opposite to that. Horrible people, terrible people. And we're constantly going throughout the world. We're traveling, we're exploring new things, we're trying new things. And again, we're always in a state of flux, right? But the earth herself is lifting. She's moving herself up into higher ground. We're going up into higher dimension. So for us to keep up with that, that involves being able to go into love states, right? Being able to move ourselves into the highest degrees of love. And like I said, this is why I've created the BCR technique, because it's very, very simple, right? 3 to 5 minutes out of your life. And you're just filling yourself with all this pure love energy, and you're putting it to work. You're commanding that love energy. You're getting that love energy to flow through you, and you're feeling great. You're feeling amazing. You feel like there's just angels all around you. You feel like you're walking on clouds. You feel fantastic. So we are moving in harmony with the earth. As she rises up, we're going with her. As we go with her, all these old things that have been what we could consider shackles, conditions, walls, start to drop away. They all start to fade away. And now we're seeing an entirely new world. We're starting to see our own natural abilities starting to come together. You can look at a person and you just instantly know everything about them, right? You can just feel their energy. You can feel their presence. You can feel their feelings. You can feel their thoughts. So because you've elevated yourself up into a higher frequency. It's when we stay down into the base world, right? Where the politics are, right? Where the cocaine and the heroin is, and that relates to the politics, right? We stay in that world, and you're not doing anybody any favors. You're not doing yourself any favor. You're not doing your parents, your friends, any of them. You're not doing any favors to them by staying in such a world. You're moving past the politics. You're moving past the idea of feeling stranded, of feeling confined, of feeling that you're in a harsh relationship and you have no say in regards to where you go with that relationship, or feeling that you're in a career that you don't like, right? Whatever it is, all of these particular shackles are there, and they just bind you down to the ground, and you feel you can't move. But basically, it's you yourself that is putting all of those shackles around you, right? You're binding yourself. You're putting yourself into the ground. You're volunteering to put, tons of dirt over yourself, burying yourself, right? But at any moment, you can get up from it. At any moment, those shackles can come off. It does not matter how deeply you put yourself in the ground. You're able to cast all of that off and move up, right? And like I said, we're past the point of no return right now. And really, through that post point of no return, I'm really here for people who are wanting to do that. I'm not really here for the person who's just still very, very stubborn about the old ways and very, very stubborn about the systems in that way. And so, oh, there's nothing you can do to convince me of that. Well, I'm not here for you, man. I'm not here for you, right? We've crossed that boundary now. And those are not the people I'm here for. Right? The people I'm here for are the people who have been doing the work, who are taking these shackles off, or who want to take these shackles off, and who want to continue to climb. Because, like I said, we've all boarded a train, right? We've all boarded a plane. We're all transiting now through this momentum, through the post point of no return, right? So really, the greatest way that you can understand what's happening in the world is when you're aligning with the earth, is when you're tuning into her frequency, because she tells you everything. And she's such a loving mother. She'll tell you anything that you want to know, right? You're sitting down on the grass, you're sitting in a forest, you're sitting on a beach, wherever you are, and you're just tuning in, right? You're courting, you're tethering to the earth, and you're talking to her. And now you just feel this response. She becomes your voice. She becomes your thoughts. She becomes your feelings. And now you're tuning into her and you're talking to her. And she's sharing all this information about saying, I'm uplifting. I'm moving into new ground. Won't you come with me? Right? So all you have to do is drop away all those things, those old things that are ready to be dropped away, and you will not be affected by the nature of the old world because you no longer give it any relevance. It becomes irrelevant. It becomes incoherent with you. And you are living your life regardless of what's happening in regards to world affairs or anything of that nature. It doesn't affect you because you're not putting any energy into it. You're lifting with the earth. You're moving up with her. And it's like a blanket is around you that she's putting around you and saying, hey, I got this. Let me take care of this. Let me help you to move up into the higher realms. All you have to do is just come with me, right? Just accept what comes through as I bring you up into the higher planes, and you'll go. I've been there myself with the earth, just in a state of beautiful silence. And it's like her voice is the wind. Her voice is the silence. Her voice is everything that represents the surroundings of the earth. And it's a beautiful thing, right? So this is what I wanted to share with all of you, is that keep up with the earth frequency, right? The earth is telling you exactly what you need to let go of. And if you're not getting the message, sometimes that message can be intense. Sometimes that message can be harsh, right? You're saying, oh my God, I lost my job today. Well, it's because you're not supposed to have that job, right? You're moving up into higher frequencies and you're not getting the message. Earth is telling you very, very softly how you can get out of that job and move on, but you're not getting the message. Days go by, all of a sudden, you're laid off. What the hell happened? Oh my God, this is horrible. No, not really. It's what the earth is trying to set up for you. This is what your higher self is trying to set up for you. This is what God is trying to set up for you. But you weren't listening, right? And so it comes into that point of plummet where that job is gone, and it may seem horrible, but as you start to rebalance yourself, you say, you know what? Me losing that job is the best thing that's ever happened to me, because now I'm moving into something better. Now I'm helping people. I'm working with people. I can actually do my healing work now. And I feel so much more happy doing that than I ever was at that 9-to-5 job, right? That's one example. Many other different examples as well too. But nonetheless, it's us cleaning all of this debris out, because we can't admit to ourselves what we really want. We can't admit to ourselves who we authentically are, right? We keep thinking that we have to look left, right, center. Oh, this is going to tell me who I am. The universe is never going to tell you who you are. Okay. It's not about looking over your shoulder and thinking that you're going to discover more about yourself in that way. You have reflections, of course, but you got to tell the universe who you are. You got to tell creation who you are. That's the way, right? When you start to understand that, you say, I am a healer. I am going to work with people. I'm going to help. I am going to build community. I'm going to work together with more people. Great. Now you're taking charge. Now you're being a creator. Now you're being a master. That's how it works, right? So again, this is one of the most common issues. People come up to me and ask and say, Brad, I don't know who I am or what I'm supposed to do and that stuff. You're not supposed to in that way. You got to tell the universe who you are. Who do you feel you are? Because you're the only one who's going to ask that question. What is it about me? What is it that's so unique about me? Well, I have to reflect on my life. I have to look at these things. I have my life to giving me hints about what it is that have really set me free. I love being an artist. I love playing music. I love dancing. I love being in a classroom and teaching people about metaphysics, spirituality. I love being in a garden. I love learning more about plants. I love taking care of animals. I love children. There you go. All these things. These are all bells. Ding, 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 that are ringing. But how do I practically do that? How do I practically bring this into life so I can make a living off it? And that's, again, such a tainting, right? We get into that idea of saying, oh, what about money? What about money? What about money? It's just a prop, guys. You can bring as much or as little money into your life as possible. It's not the forefront of your reality. It's a side effect, right? So when you are working with something that you love to be, I mean, take my example here, getting into channeling and all that stuff. I wasn't making a killing. I'm still not really making a killing together with the idea of channeling. But this is something that I knew I wanted to do full time because I loved it. I loved being able to channel Adronis. I love to be able to feel like when I'm doing sessions, like I'm going on journeys, adventures with people. As they're letting me into their space, I'm letting them into my space. Adronis is coming in, he's letting us into his space. And this is exciting. This is wonderful. Like I'm talking to people every day about extraterrestrials, and I'm talking to people every day about meditation and going to God and working with creation and exploring the universe. I mean, you can't do this working at a 7-Eleven, you know? So that was what was exciting to me. Secondly, was the idea of saying, yeah, okay, I'll make this into a living. I'll make this into something supporting in that way. That has always been secondary to me, right? The first thing, foremost, has been the love of doing what you do, right? It's so important. And that is truly moving with the earth, right? You lift up with the earth, you start doing what you love, and now you have an anchor there. And now she's pulling you up by that anchor and lifting you up higher and higher and higher. And this body is the anchor. So she's going to lift you up. She's going to move you up further into this new paradigm, into this new dimension, into this new reality. So again, we are just clearing away the superficiality of life, the superficiality of reality. I feel like, oh, if I have to do this, I gotta make money. I got so many bills to pay off. I gotta do all this, and we get into practicality, right? There's a time and a place for practicality, of course. That's just us putting our nose to the grindstone and doing some work. You're right, and there's some practicality that's involved with that. But when you're moving up into discovering who you are, about where you want to go, what you want to do, your authenticity, your logic and your practicality does not play a part in that, right? That's where your feelings need to come in. That's where your intuition needs to come in. That's where your heart needs to come in. It needs to tell you, this is what I love to do. I want to be a dancer. I want to be a yoga teacher, right? I want to work with children. I want to work with animals. I want to do this. I want to do that. So again, for you to discover that is partially, you have to look into your life. You know, where have you been from the day that you were born to where you are right now? What has really stood out? What have been those beautiful moments? What are those moments, right? I had a woman that actually just emailed me this morning, and she said, oh, Brad, I dreamed of you last night, and I was getting guidance from you to do this kind of technique where there was like a clear glass, and there's like these colorful little pieces of paper there, and you said, oh, these are your word gifts, and start working with word gifts and all that stuff. And she was asking, oh, do you remember this dream? I said, well, no, I wasn't dreaming anything of that nature. There are times too where quite a few people have come to me and said, Brad, I've dreamed of you. Do you remember the dream? I'm like, no, guys, I don't remember the dream, right? My conscious self is not aware of those dreams. And many times I'm basically just a projection in your dream because I fit the mold of some type of guide, helper, to helping you look at a certain way of life or a certain technique or practice that's helping you along in that way. But no, I don't have conscious memory of a person. Oh yeah, hey, I went into your dream last night and I was dressed like a monk. No. I don't have anything like that. For years, I've had people telling me that, Brad, you show up in my dreams, or Adronis shows up in the dreams, like you're channeling Adronis, and Adronis is only coming in, and does he remember this? I said, well, I don't know. I haven't talked to him about that. But a lot of it is mainly just projections, right? You're just tuning into a projection where I fit the bill, and I'm telling you something important, right? I'm being a messenger in that way. I'm pretty sure when the time comes when I transition, when I leave this body, I'll make it available so you guys can just call upon my spirit anytime, and I'll just show up, right? I see myself doing this work even after I leave this physical body, right? So you can call me and say, hey, Brad, come in here, right? Hey, what's up? How's it going? I'll be like one of those Force ghosts, right? Like Obi-Wan. Come in and say, what can I do for you? How's it going, right? I would love to do that. I think that'd be great. Anyways, no, guys, I am not consciously aware if you dream of me. At least not yet. Maybe sometime down the road, maybe that will happen. We'll see. Another announcement that I was going to share with you guys as well, too, is just a while back, I was talking about an individual known as Forrest Knudsen. Okay. He has his own YouTube channel, right? Forrest Knudsen. And he is a Western yogi, right? He has a lot of great experience within himself. I would suggest you guys just check out his channel on YouTube. Okay, his first name is Forrest, so Forrest. His last name is Knudsen, Knutson. Okay, Forrest Knudsen. So there's some good news here. I'm going to be interviewing him on February 17th, okay, here on YouTube. So I've created a Zoom room for this, so you guys can actually go into the Zoom room. I'll be putting this up here in the next couple of days, but I'll be interviewing him. I contacted him not too long ago and said, hey, it'd be really interesting to do an interview with you, right? There's a lot of people that are really enjoying your channel that I've sent to you, and I think it'd be great for us to do an interview together. So he got back to me and said, sure, I'd be great. I'd be happy to. So we were able to find a date, February 17th. Okay, so I'll be connecting with him, and we'll be doing an interview. There's one thing that Forrest hasn't really done is he hasn't really shared too much of his background, right? So this is kind of what I'd like to do with an interview, is just getting an idea of his background, of what he's done, because his knowledge is really profound. So that is something that's going to be really exciting. On February 17th, I'll be doing an interview with Forrest Knudsen. So it's still a couple of weeks away, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and get started with a meditation, and then we're going to be getting into group healing, and then we'll be getting into Q&A, okay? So I'm not really going to be doing too much of the individual healing anymore, so because there's a bigger effect when I just do it through a group healing. So, but if you guys still have certain issues and you still need help in that way, then please contact me by email, okay? So again, you go to newearthteachings.com, go to the contact page, contact me there, okay? If you feel that there's still something really important, if it's something urgent, you guys can always drop me an email there, all right? But mainly through the New Earth TV Live, I will do some group healing, because then it leaves some more time for Q&A as well too. So let's go ahead and get ourselves into a nice, relaxed, comfortable posture, making sure the body is free of any points of strain, making sure my microphone holds out too. I'm almost like really afraid to even touch the wire right now, because it'll just start to backfire on me, I think. Okay, so getting ourselves nice and comfortable, we can place our hands upon the center of our chest if we want, or you can place it on your lap, whatever feels good for you. Taking a deep breath in, deep breath out. And once again, inhale, exhale, and one more time, inhale, exhale. Okay, relaxing now and breathing normally. And just bringing your focus and awareness now to the base of your spine. Okay, and as you feel the base of the spine connection now, you're feeling all of those black roots coming out through the base of the spine now, and just going all the way down the legs, down to the feet, out through the bottom of the feet and deeply into the earth, right? And just command those roots to go directly into the heart of the earth here and now. And as those roots are connecting to the heart of the earth, we're now going to do a scan on ourselves, just a simple surface scan. Okay, so we're seeing like a green beam just coming down right at the top of our head and just slowly starting to move down. And we're just looking at any surface-based black liquid, dense energy. Just as the beam slowly goes down, and if you're noticing any, you're just directing that energy down to the base of the spine. Okay, and just scanning your body, any tension, any stiffness, any soreness, any pain, anything of that nature. You're just guiding that energy. Then when you're going past the legs, going all the way down the knees, down at the bottom of the feet, you're just moving all that energy. Everything is just converging directly to the base of the spine once you finish your scan. As you finish your scan, again, you're just commanding that dense energy to go directly into the base of the spine and just flushing all of that energy out. The roots are flushing all of that energy out, and it's moving into the earth. As it's moving into the earth, you're just giving your love and your thanks to the earth, transmuting that energy, seeing the earth transmuting that energy into pure spirit light. As you give your love and appreciation to Mother Earth for serving you. And now we're going to feel the energies of the earth, that brown energy moving up to the roots now, connecting up into the feet, up past the ankles, up past the knees, connecting directly to the base of the spine. And at the base of the spine, we're going to, again, calibrate the chakra centers, moving them in a counterclockwise direction, 7 times each. Okay. Starting off with the root chakra. Okay. Color apple red. Seeing that in your mind right now, and you can take your finger, either physically or astrally, and just starting to swirl it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, counterclockwise. Moving up next into the sacral chakra or navel chakra, colored orange. Okay, seeing that orange in your mind, swirling it now, counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now into the solar plexus chakra, color yellow, okay, like a lemon or sunflower. Okay, counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now into the heart chakra, colored grass green. Okay, counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now into the throat, sky blue. Counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving up now to the third eye chakra. Okay, ocean blue or deep royal blue. Counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Finally, moving up into the crown chakra, colored violet. Counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and now we're just going to focus on the abdomen, taking a deep breath in and just traveling that breath all the way up to the top of the head. And exhale, feeling the crown chakra opening up, feeling the rainbow light coming out to the top of the head, going all the way down to the bottom of the feet, coming down to the bottom of the feet and just moving up into the perineum. Placing your hands now upon the center of your heart. And just tuning into the heartbeat. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, and as you exhale, feeling the toroidal field expanding. Okay, toroidal field above your head and below your feet. And now just moving into this very slow counterclockwise movement. Okay, like I said, if you're an advanced meditator, you can work with both hemispheres. Otherwise, just work with it as a single hemisphere, which is fine as well too. Okay, so that is slowly, subtly moving in a counterclockwise direction. Again, with your hands still upon the center of your chest, tuning into the back of the heart, the innermost chamber at the back of the heart, to where spirit light dwells, your Christ throne, the Christ light. Okay, tuning into that now. Taking a deep breath in. This is your God light. Exhale. And just shining that light out through your body and having it imbue directly into the toroidal field. And now you're feeling that glowing effect of the spirit light in the toroidal field as it slowly rotates. And again, that spirit light is available to you. Talk to it, speak to it for anything that you require. All right. So another deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay. Very good. Feeling centered now, feeling nice and grounded. Another good way just to get yourself into a receptive state, especially when you're connecting with spirit, you're connecting with your higher self, you're connecting with your other versions of self. Ground yourself. Just go out outside if you can, if it's not too cold, right? If it's a little too cold, maybe you can bear it for a couple of minutes. But you basically want to be barefoot, right? Just going barefoot on the grass, okay, and just anchoring and earthing yourself directly into nature. Okay. Another thing you can do is have one of those earthing mats. Okay. I actually have an earthing mat just underneath my feet here, right? And whether you're wearing feet or socks, doesn't matter. Either way, they get through, and you're just anchoring yourself with the earth energy. I'm at this desk quite a lot most of the day. Not all the time, but most of the day. So I always have this earthing mat directly below me, and I'm always anchoring myself to the earth frequency, the 7.83 hertz. Okay. So that too is very, very important. That's rooting yourself, especially when I'm channeling Adronis as well too. My feet are on this earthing mat, and that really helps, right? Just being able to anchor myself, center myself, having the earth energy flow through me. Okay. So you guys can find some affordable earthing mats online, right? I think Amazon has them as well too. But you can look around. There's a Canadian site that I go to where I've ordered some earthing mats as well too. I've also had like bed sheets that are earthed as well too. So I'm currently creating a healing bed now. Don't get too excited. It's mainly using healing code geometry, right? It's not like I'm making a gigantic stasis pod or something like that in that way. But I'm creating this prototype right now, and I'm kind of testing it out first, see how well it does. And then after it passes the test, then I'll be offering it. It's kind of going to be, I think so the best way I could put it is that there's kind of like two different sites that are creating it at the same time. So I'm using Etsy, and then I'm using another one as well too, to try and put this together. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for a person to purchase this bedding set, but I basically have to put codes into it. So basically you have like a quilt, pillow, bed, what do you call them? Pillow sheets, right? Pillow covers, that's right. Pillow covers, bed sheet, and they're covered with these healing code geometry. And there's codes in the geometry, and it basically does reverse aging. It'll help with healing the body, rejuvenating the body while you go to sleep as well too. So that will be something that I'm just trying out the prototype first once it arrives. And then once the prototype is done, then I'll be making that available for people. Because I mean, that's the best time to heal, is when you're going to sleep. Now, there's even bigger news that's going to be coming here in the next couple of days, is that I'm going to be launching the 24/7 remote healing. Okay. And this is going to be greater than anything. Really. This is even greater than the healing code cards. I'm currently creating it right now, and I'm going to be doing a trial with 12 volunteers. Okay, don't get too excited yet. I haven't launched it yet. It will be launching here in the next couple of days. Okay, and I will be basically just getting maybe a bunch of different applications from people. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yes. All right. So again, if we're looking at the healing code cards, the body deck, okay, and the mind deck as well too, the 24/7 remote healing will have all of the codes contained within the body deck and the mind deck contained within what's known as an amalgamation array and more. Okay. There is actually going to be healing available that is not actually in the healing code cards that are going to be in the 24/7 restoration. You're actually going to have a vitality amalgamation array too, which means it'll keep the vitamin levels within your body stable, right? It's not saying it's replacing your supplements, but what it's doing is it's actually keeping a vibrational array of energy around your body so that your body is never starved for vitamin nutrition, right? So there's all this new stuff. I'm still developing some new stuff with the 24/7, and it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now I've created a prototype, and the prototype's still not done yet. And I'm living off this prototype 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I've had absolutely no problems whatsoever. Like my sinuses are actually clearing, which is great. There's no pain in the body whatsoever. Everything relating to healing is doing really, really well. My whole body is just feeling great. So this is a 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are getting constant healing nonstop for 30 days. Okay. It's a subscription-based healing session. Okay. So basically you basically would purchase a certain amount of time. Like, so you can do like 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, etc. And then you're just getting fed all of these healing code energies remotely through what's known as the capture method. And again, there's these arrays that are coming together, which means you have the healing code cards array, which is basically all the codes contained in the body deck and the mind deck. It's contained in this one array. There's a second array, okay, and that's the daily vitality array. That's where you're basically getting the balancing of your nutrition, of all these things that are coming together, right? And then there's a third array, which is a custom array, which means you get to customize 12. I don't have 12 fingers, so 10 plus 2, okay? You get to customize 12 things that you want to have worked on through this array that will be working on you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, okay? So basically, your organs are being regenerated 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are going to be going through youth body, right? You're going to have reverse aging happening to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So everything that's in the body deck and in the mind deck will be in this. So this is a brand new idea that I've created. And basically what I'm doing is I'm creating shelf space because these things have to be physically printed out. The array has to be physically printed out along with your picture, your full name, and your birth date. Okay, and that's going on top of these amalgamation arrays that are doing healing work on your body. Okay, so basically I have shelves that I have to create. So basically what you're doing is you're just renting out shelf space for a whole month while this amalgamation array works on you 24/7. Okay, so I will be getting more information out to you guys. I'll be getting a little bit more detail with it. I'm actually just arranging my house to get some shelving units in here so I can get a lot of people on here to do the 24/7 restoration healing, or remote healing, I could call it. I'm really excited about this. Like I said, I've been trying it. I've actually been working with my partner on it as well too. She's doing really, really well, and she had a lot of health conditions, and she's feeling like brighter than rain right now. So it's great to see. Like spiritual servers in a way. Yeah. I mean, it takes up space, right? So I have to make sure I get shelving units and all that stuff like that. So it's kind of like a spiritual server, but of course this spiritual server never ever crashes, right? So it's constantly working on you. And like I said, I had to test it on myself because I always test everything on myself before I bring it out. Same thing with like the bed as well too, right? Testing out the bed as soon as it arrives. I'll be testing that out as well too. Like I've always tested out the cards on myself before I bring it out publicly. I always test these things, right? And so there will be 12 volunteers that I will personally select who will get this for free for 10 days, right? And the proviso is that you just submit a testimonial, right, on the 5th day of the 10 days. So again, I'll be getting that. I was kind of debating about talking about this today because, oh my God, if I start bringing this out right now, people are going to like just swarm me with emails. Brad, I'll sign up. Go, just hang on. I've already created a page for it on newearthteachings.com. It's not up yet, but effectively on February 1st, on Monday, that page will be up. Okay, so I'll be putting a notice here on YouTube, and I'll be putting a notice here on Facebook that it's up. I'm willing to get quite a few, like I said, 12 volunteers, but quite a few people who can just kind of submit themselves and just kind of feel people out, see what they're going through. And then I feel people who would be really good volunteers for that, the 12 volunteers, would be getting the 24/7 remote healing for 10 days. Okay, and then after that, we do testimonials. Then I do the official launch. Okay, and then the official launch is available. And I'm looking to see if we can get hundreds of people on this 24/7, because this is going to be, again, grand healing. I myself am feeling the effects of it right now, and it's amazing, right? I feel so good. And it hasn't been long. I've only been on this for a couple of days. It's been great, amazing so far. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with some Q&A. Just wanted to give that nice little tidbit announcement because it's really exciting. And I'm happy to bring in 24/7 healing to you guys as well too. So I don't think it's ever been done before. It's kind of interesting. Spiritual service. I really like that analogy, Alex. Thank you for that. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and move into Q&A now. So if you guys do have any questions for myself or for Adronis, you can feel free to share. We know now we're not really going to go into the political arenas, right? As like I said, I'm kind of more into life itself, right? Spiritual consciousness, metaphysics, right? But anything else, right? So I know a lot of people get very much caught up into that, and it's just not really something that's available on my channel too much anymore. So like I said, there's a lot more to life than all that stuff. Okay, let's go down the list here. And hello, everybody, once again. Glad you're all here. Yeah, 24/7 remote healing sounds very, very interesting, guys. It's the most powerful thing. If this is not putting down the healing code cards as well, because those are important. It's good that you guys are working with the healing code cards each and every single day, because they have great focus, thorough focus on the areas that they work on. Lungs enhancer, liver enhancer, kidney enhancer, very important, right? Working together with that. And the body deck, the mind deck, the emotional releaser with the mind deck, right? So this is not at all replacing that. This is just basically taking a library of spirit commands and putting it into your body 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So again, it's taking the body and the mind deck, and it's taking new commands that have not been released yet and putting it on you guys 24/7. So like I said, I always test these things out before they come out. So yeah, I'd love to be a volunteer. Oh, I know. You guys will certainly be able to submit your application. Okay. Okay, here's one from John Lennon. Let me go ahead and click these buttons. Okay, so what I try to do is every single week, I try and create a contents menu for YouTube. So you guys can just kind of go through the timeline and go to these different questions. So I got to remember to put these questions on, because it helps me with categorizing all these things when I start doing the post edit. So John says, can we please talk, maybe if you have time, about the beautiful land you and lots of others want to build heaven on? Love that. I'm in. I think you're referring to the Spirit Valley project, right? If I'm not mistaken. Okay. So the Spirit Valley project is what I've talked about previously a while back, about an eco community or an eco village, right? And having a Spirit Valley there, like having a pyramid and having like tiny homes and stuff like that. I would absolutely love to do that, guys. However, because of the whole COVID situation right now, it's not really possible. So because I've tried to visit a couple of different eco communities on Salt Spring Island, and they were closed during the time of COVID. I'm not too sure if they're reopening right now or not. And I'm still not too sure about a specific location of where it would be as well, too. This is not really just my idea. It would have to be an idea of a group community, right? So we would all have to get together, and it's mostly people who would be local at first and then kind of open it up online. It's a very big undertaking, right? So I'm kind of just letting things kind of chill out for a little bit longer. I'm thinking maybe around late 2021, early 2022, we could really kind of get serious about this. But like I said, I don't want it just to be like my vision, right? It has to be a collective thing. It has to be a community, right? So basically, there's quite a few people in my own local area that are very interested in this as well, too. I would love to get the Spirit Valley project going, but it's just a matter of timing right now. And right now, the timing is not right. So we're just kind of letting the winds kind of carry out this old storm at first. And then as time gets closer, we can look into the Spirit Valley project. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. Like I said, I'm looking to incorporate the healing codes directly into Spirit Valley. Like if we created a pyramid in that way, I would basically wallpaper the inside of the pyramid with healing codes, with the geometry arrays. And then I would be able to make that available to people, either locally or online, where you can actually put up this wallpaper and you can actually bilocate the energy of the pyramid inside your house. That would be cool. And that would be something that could help us with funding as well, too. There's a lot of ideas that I have, but it's just a matter of being able to, get the right time and get the right people available and making this into a group effort, because I'm open to other people's ideas of what they have as well, too. So let's see how things go late 2021, early 2022. Again, I just don't want this to be my idea. It has to be shared. It has to be community-based, and we'll see where that takes us. So that's really what I can share. But yes, I mean, I've really fallen in love with the idea of the Spirit Valley project. I have a friend named Michael Hamilton, who has Angel Valley in Sedona, right? So there's a place called Angel Valley in Sedona, Arizona. We're just out on the outskirts of it. I've been there before. I've held Adronis sessions there. And it was actually a lot of inspiration for what he's doing, right? Because he has Angel Valley, and it's a big community there as well, too. He has lots of structures. He has a beautiful labyrinth there. If you guys have not been to Angel Valley in Sedona, I'd recommend you go. Okay, it's a beautiful place. Tell them Brad sent you. Okay, and I've been to Sedona, and it's beautiful. I've been all around that area. I love it. I would love to go back to Sedona again, once everything is cleared here with travel and all that. But yes, Sedona is one of my favorite places to go. So a lot of that from Angel Valley has been kind of an inspiration for the Spirit Valley project. So we'll see how things go in the next year or so. All right. So thank you, John, for sharing that. And I assume that's what you're talking about. Okay, here's one here from Sean Ryshak. Sean says, "Hi, Brad and Adronis. Could you recommend the best audio frequencies to listen to for healing and well-being? That could you explain about and could you explain more about ghosts? Why do some spirits seem to linger around?" So I'll get Adronis to take care of the second question. Okay. The first question, I would basically say the best frequency for you to work with is really not something that's audible. Okay. It's the earth frequency. Okay. The Schumann resonance, 7.83. That is the best frequency for you to work with because you're in harmony with the earth. This is why I say you get like the earthing mats, or you go outside, you put yourself into a horse stance, or you just anchor yourself with bare feet on the grass, on the soil. That is the best frequency that you can ask for, right? Because that's what the earth naturally provides for us. So like I said, maybe there's people that are doing Schumann resonance experiments or something like that. That's all fine and good. But like I said, all you really need to do is just tune into that frequency, whether it's an earthing mat or just connecting with the earth herself. Okay. That's the greatest frequency. I've worked with a lot of frequencies over the years. The greatest frequency that has really brought benefit to me is the Schumann resonance. Okay. Is the earth frequency. So that is what I'd recommend. Adronis has recommended this as well too, right? Just go outside, put your feet on the earth, do some getting some earthing mats. That would be the best frequency. Okay, that's what I would personally recommend. There's solfeggio frequencies as well too, which helped me a lot when I was first awakening, right? Because I was doing it back in 2008 when I was going on this journey, and I was listening to the solfeggio frequencies religiously each and every single day. So I probably would do about 2 hours of listening to solfeggio frequencies each day. Okay, so you guys, I'm not sure if you guys know, but I have my own website as well too, solfeggiotones.com. Okay. I'll do my best to spell it out here for you. solfeggiotones.com. Solfeggiotones.com. That's my website. Okay. And there's free solfeggio tones you can download there. Okay. You can work with that as well too. But like I said, that would be second to the earth frequencies. This would be first, and solfeggio would be second. It's helped me out a lot. I was able just to go a lot deeply with the solfeggio tones, mainly because I was just tuning into them. I liked how they sounded, and I was tuning into them in that way. But like I said, nothing really beats the earth frequency. That is what I would consider to be the greatest thing, first and foremost. Okay. Now, second question, could you explain more about ghosts? Why do some spirits seem to linger around? Okay, so let me bring Adronis about that. He has talked about this in the past, but he can share some more insight on this. Here we go. Making sure I'm being very careful not to bump the cord here. Okay. Tira Soul Star Sirius Adronis. We are here. At this time, we bid you greetings and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis of Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to all who are tuning into this broadcast through your internet collective consciousness. We will speak in regards to the question relating to the idea of what you term as ghosts, in that sense, about why they linger and how they are here. Yes, we have previously addressed this idea, is that what you term as a ghost in that sense, or a phantom in that particular degree, is what you would consider to be a type of projection relating to a very heavy, emotional, traumatic state of an entity. Now, it is not their whole being that you are witnessing, but you are basically looking at a, shall we say, after effect, or the idea in that sense of a projection relating to a very severe emotional situation pertaining to one who has transitioned. It is a shard, as it were, although that too is not even really appropriate. It is more so in the idea that your soul itself can never be splintered. It can never be split in that way. But there are projections, there are phantoms in that way, relating to this particular emotional state that has become so severe that it actually embodies itself into this space-time dimension. So when you're actually connecting together with a ghost or a phantom in that particular way, what you are witnessing in that sense is actually an emotional after effect. And in that sense, this is what the soul themselves will often attempt to do, is try to make peace with the projections of these heavy, emotionally intense phantoms that they create, that are actually bonded to the idea of a space. For the idea of example would be losing a loved one, or feeling that they do not want to leave their home. It is the idea of an attachment, a very heavy, traumatic, emotional attachment that keeps part of a phantasm effect, or phantom effect, or ghost effect, as you would say, anchored into that particular space. So this is why some people will say, oh, don't go into that house, it's haunted. And in that sense, it's not really haunted in that way. It's the idea that there is just simply the idea of one who has transitioned, who holds a very strong emotional state that is anchoring them to the plane. And so basically you could say they are in the in-between the idea of physical reality and the astral dimension. And in that sense, as that particular energy becomes resolved, because you can have healers or you can have medicine men, medicine women going into the house and offering love to the entire space, that particular phantom therefore returns to light, because they learn how to forgive themselves and they return. So again, that's the whole nature pertaining to what you would term as phantoms or phantom effects, or basically in that sense, a projection of heavy emotional consciousness. Many will say that, well, this is something to do with unfinished business, and that's true. It's the idea that there is a very heavily traumatic situation that that particular projection is unable to come to terms with. They are addicted to the idea of staying in their home. They are addicted to feeling pain relating to a loved one that has transitioned. They may have been very, very aggressive, very violent. They don't want other people in their territory. These are, again, all examples. But again, all that it really requires is loving energy, forgiveness for that particular form of phantom to transition themselves out of that in-between space, as it were, and returning back into source, returning back to spirit, returning back to God. We thank you for your question. Okay. Thank you very much, Sean, for your question. Hope that answers it. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Going down here. Okay. Here's one here from Madison. Madison says, I have a question for Adronis when the time is appropriate. I heard another channeler, Roxanne Swainhart, say praying, mantras, affirmations, etc. are meant to get you to a certain place once. Okay, so I guess I'll bring Adronis in for that, that sharing. Okay, here we go. We thank you very much, Madison, for your question. As it relates to the idea of mantras or praying or affirmations in that sense, to get you to a certain place, to some degree that is true, yes, but it is more so in the idea that you are just aligning yourself. That's the whole idea. It's an alignment. It doesn't always have to be a place. It's simply the idea that it is you. The affirmations that you are doing is you calibrating. It's really no more different than you tuning a radio dial and wanting to get to a certain frequency so that you can receive the broadcast. You see, that really doesn't have anything to do with place or space in that way. It's you. It's you aligning to a version of yourself that you prefer. And now you are being that person. You are being that one that is representative of the affirmations, the prayers, the mantras that you are becoming involved with. It's you. You are creator. As we've stated, you're the only one here. So you're constantly just playing with radio transmissions, as it were, that represent frequencies of consciousness, where you are aligning to these, you are being these things, and because you prefer these things, you play with them for as long as you wish. If a person wants to feel like they want to make a lot of money in their reality, they can tune into that frequency. They can become the alignment of that frequency, and now they are there. So again, everything pertaining to affirmations, mantras, for this has been taught for many thousands of years upon your planet about the idea of mantras, mudras, affirmations, etc. They are all just calibration tools to aligning you into where you wish to be. Simple as that. All right? Thank you very much. Okay, great. Thank you very much, Madison, for your question. Okay, moving on. Well, that's a very popular question I'm getting here from Adrian. I don't think I'm going to spend too much time on it. Okay. I'm not going to bring Adronis in for this. I'm just kind of giving you guys a little bit of a conveying here, right? What is our purpose in life? Did we decide to be here? Okay. Adronis has always said, yes, nobody has kicked you in the butt and grabbed you by the hair and threw you down to the earth so that you could incarnate. Okay. Guys, it doesn't work that way, right? It comes down to what Adronis just said. You're the only one here. Who else is here? It's not your mom. It's not your dad. It's not your brother. It's not your sister. It's not your best friend. It's not your husband. It's not your wife. It's not your kids, right? It's not anybody else. You're the only one here. As you're the only one here, you're the one that makes all the decisions. You're the one that makes choices. You're the one that decides, okay? So you're looking at the great version, the great degree of yourself, the great self, the higher self, your God self, right? That is truly what's making all the decisions. The lower self, the physical self, doesn't really make those decisions, okay? Because it is very, very impaired. It's very conditioned. It's very limited. It thinks like this, like a tiny little dot, okay? Whereas the great self, the greater self, the higher self, your God nature is the entire universe itself in comparison, okay? It is not the lower self that decides these things. The lower self has no power at all. Really, it doesn't, okay? So when you are making a command, it is your spirit self. It is the nature of spirit that is bringing forward all of these things into your reality, all right? So the greater self is what's doing all the work. It is for us to get into a marriage between the lower and the higher self to become one. And when you are there, you are no longer thinking small. You're not thinking like a mortal, right? So you have your own purposes in that way. Adronis will always say, though, it's not about purpose. It's about your nature. You want to understand your nature rather than looking so much at purposes, because purposes are always self-imposed. Something that you have imposed yourself. I want to go onto Earth and I want to have a family. All right. I want to have lots of sex. I want to have lots of kids. Okay. I want to eat lots of junk food. Right. I want to grow a garden. I want to live in a big house and all that stuff. These are all purposes, guys. They're all purposes. It doesn't matter, because purposes are, again, just really on the surface. So when you go into your nature, that you're truly understanding everything. To go into your nature is to go beyond body and mind. It's to come into the true essence of your spirit. It's to know that you are God and God is you, and that you are the only one here. And you're the one that is truly calling all the shots relating to your life. Nobody, again, grabbed you by the hair and hurled you onto earth and said, get your butt down there or incarnate down there or I'll kick your ass. Nobody is doing that to you, all right? So we get into that mentality of thinking somebody else brought me here. Somebody else brought me into this earth. Somebody else just grabbed me by the hair and just tossed me into the ocean and said, swim to the shore and then incarnate into a body, you son of a... Nothing like that at all, okay? Every decision we make has been through ourselves. And I'm talking about the true self, not the lower self, not the physical self, but the true self, capital S-E-L-F, okay? The true self brought us here because that's who we are. So we volunteered to come here. Earth is a voluntary school, everybody. So again, what Adronis is going to be talking about in the Grand University tomorrow. Okay, Earth, the Grand University. It is a voluntary university. It is not for you to say, I have to go down there. I got to go down there, or else God's going to punch me in the face if I don't get down there. So I'll make you go down there, right? There's nothing like that, guys. Okay, there's nothing about, a giant bearded God in the sky. It says, oh, I'll punch you if you don't go down there. You want me to beat you up? All right. No, guys, nothing like that. All right. It's all your choice. Sometimes, and here's the funny thing, there are guides that are working in the higher planes that sometimes try to talk us out of it, try to talk us out of going to the earth. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to go down there? You sure you want to go to Earth? You're realizing it's one of the most challenging universities there is, right? Oh, no, guys, I got this. I got this. Not a problem. I'm going to go down there and I'm going to fix everybody. I'm going to spread so much love. I'm going to just be this rainbow child. I'm going to go on top of rooftops. I'm going to shout how much I love everybody, how everybody is pure consciousness. And I'm going to just put rainbow light all over the entire world. That's how enthusiastic you are as a soul. Every single one of you. Me too. Okay. That's how enthusiastic we are. No, guys, you don't get it. I'm going to go down there and I'm going to change this planet for good. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to spread so much love to the planet. I'm going to tell everybody how much I love them. I'm going to tell everybody we're all part of one consciousness. And you watch. I'm going to change all this around. That's the mentality of many of us, pretty much all of us, that come down here and do this work. And now here you are as the physical self and saying, what the hell was I on? Was I smoking something? What's going on here? No, you were so elated with joy. You were so happy. You were elated with happiness, elated with pure positive energy, with love, right? That's why you come, right? And you come down here and, oh, I got all these conditions and these systems and blah, 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 right? But as a soul, as the true self, that's how you are. You are so absolutely excited to come down here and saying, oh my God, my time's up. My time's ready. I'm ready to go in the body. I'm ready to go down to Earth. I'm ready to rock this thing, right? That's how enthusiastic you are. And you have guides saying, hey, slow down. You have to understand what you're getting yourself. I got it. Come on, get me down there. That's what you're like. Okay. So that again is where you come in and you incarnate, and here you are as a little baby and you grow up, and right. But you remember these things because of their algorithms, right? They're anchors that you put into yourself. And you say, I can do this. Yeah, I want to go down to Earth. I want to make love. I want to have a family. I want to have a house, etc., etc. And again, these are all purposes, and that's fine. But it's all self-imposed. It's when you actually start to discover your nature, when you really know who you are, when you realize that you are God and God is you. You'll never even want to incarnate again. Because you're already God, you already know all, you're already there, you're everything, you're all that is, right? And that really is the true realization, is to know that you are God, and that's the nature of yourself, right? So there's a lot more different than the idea of just looking at purposes. Purposes are, again, just very mind play. It's mind play stuff, and it's fine. You can play with purpose as long as you want. Nobody's going to judge you, right? But that, again, is just something that's on the surface. That's the mind playing. Okay. When you go beyond the mind, you go into the core, you see who you really are. You know that you are God and God is you, and you are all. And that's the idea. And that's moving way past the idea of the game of incarnation, because you know all. You are God and God is you. All right. Thank you, Adrian, for your question. All right. Let's go down the list here a bit more. Okay. Here's one from Forest Star. Forrest says, question for Brad, can you give us a detailed explanation on how to enter the theta state? I watched the guided meditation on the expansion point, but some parts of the visualization were unclear. Well, the theta state, again, I've demonstrated this before in the past, talking about how to enter theta, right? It's like when you close your eyes and you have a vivid reaction of something, right? You're very, very vivid. Now, basically, for example, for people to enter the theta state is actually quite simple. It's really just closing your eyes and allowing your eyes to dilate and actually just looking up, right? You're looking up at your third eye, right? So when you're basically getting into that relaxed state, your eyes start to dilate and you move your eyes up and you're looking at the third eye, you're in alpha. Okay. That's how easy it is to go into alpha. When you're going to theta, there's a dilation as well too, but you're very, very vivid in regards to your daydream, right? So if I was basically say, okay, close your eyes and imagining I'm holding this really big sandwich that you absolutely love and you're hungry and you're actually feeling that sandwich in your hands, you're actually in theta. Your mouth starts to water, right? You're in theta because you're now starting to react to that. You're making that feel very, very real to you. Now, here's another important thing to understand, okay? Basically, what you're looking to achieve here is heightened connectivity. That's the most important thing. It's not about just trying to look at just being in an alpha state or just being in a theta state or just being in a delta state, okay? Darryl Anka actually told me this back in 2009 when I was talking to him. He said that, the alpha, the theta, the delta, they're all there when I'm channeling Bashar, but they're all stepped up, right? That's what you want, okay? You're not basically saying, screw beta state, I want to go up into theta, right? It's not about that. You're meditating to build heightened connectivity to yourself. Now, I too have wired myself up. And basically what I can say is that my beta, alpha, theta, delta, gamma have all been stepped up because of my years of channeling Adronis, right? They're very, very high. And that's what you want. It's heightened connectivity. And again, as Darryl Anka would put it, is that he feels like a switchboard, right? He's able to plug into all these different things. And when he's channeling Bashar is putting all these different plugins. He's getting all this information coming through. And he told me this back in 2009 when I was just starting to get into vocal channeling with Adronis. And my experience has been very, very similar to his because I don't go into a trance state when I channel Adronis, right? I'm still very consciously aware of where I am, etc. But I'm kind of like going and moving into landscapes, right? It's kind of like I'm just looking into screensavers, so to speak. I'm exploring other different places I've been. Like I've seen like old houses. I see landscapes, places I've been all together on trips, etc., or in my local area. And I'm just exploring these landscapes as Adronis is talking, right? Because that's helping me to get my ego out of the way, right? My ego is basically just focusing on these landscapes while Adronis is coming through and sharing all this profound information. And that is a result of heightened connectivity, okay? That's really what you want. You want more heightened connectivity. There are some people that can go into very deep trance states and then they're zonked out. And the consciousness comes through and now starts sharing a lot of information. When that transmission ends, that person awakes and they have no idea what happened, right? It's like they just went off into sleep and they just realized, what happened? What happened? I'm really, really groggy. Oh, I got this all recorded. You were saying some really, really cool stuff. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that. That's a deep trance state, okay? But for us to go into theta state, like I said, all it is you're really just sampling what you could consider to be your daydreams that you're making very, very vivid, that your body is physically reacting to it, okay? So when a person is sexually aroused, for example, that's a theta state, okay? You're basically getting very, very much caught up in the sexual arousal and your body responds, okay? When your body physically responds to the stimulation that you're putting together through your mind, that's a theta state, okay? So you can certainly measure that with equipment and all that. But like I said, I think the most beneficial thing is to work with higher connectivity states, okay? Rather than the idea of thinking that you need to go into theta or you need to go into delta trance or anything like that nature. You don't really need to go into trance. In fact, what I'm teaching people is saying, don't even bother going to trance. Actually, I would suggest you guys coming out of trance, right? And just start working with heightened connectivity, working with a very, very active set of brainwave states, okay? And stepping them up big time. And all I did to really step them up was, like I said, I channeled Adronis a lot, but I would just go into meditation and I would just breathe. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And if thoughts come in, it's okay. Don't feel like you have to manifest this giant boot and that the thoughts become the ass and you're kicking the ass at the door, okay? You don't have to do that. There's all these big asses around me. Oh, just kick them away. No. It's the idea that you're just letting the thoughts come through. You're seeing it as a river, okay? You're seeing the thoughts as water flowing down the river. You're not attaching to them. You're not connecting with them. Just be in your stillness. Be in center, okay? Meditate while you're in a forest. Meditate while you're on a beach. Meditate, see a beach, see a forest in your mind, right? And just be tranquil with that space and invite spirit in and let spirit make any calibrations to you that need be, Okay, that's all I did with Adronis. I said, Adronis, just come through and just calibrate me. And there were times too, like back in the old days, where I'd be getting him calibrating me so much that I couldn't even move my body. My body was it felt so numb, right? Because I was doing a lot of breathing practice as well too. And Adronis's energy was coming through, and I could feel him calibrating the chakra centers, calibrating my body, calibrating everything. And like I could barely even talk. It was like for a full hour as well too. I was just doing deep breathing, right? And again, I was just so numb with the oxygen and the energy that was coming through. It was like, I felt like I was at the dentist, right? Just coming back from the dentist. I could barely speak. I could barely move my hands, all of that. Those were back in the old days when I was doing really, really heavy calibration. But I don't do that anymore. And so that was just necessary at the time because I was looking to get into vocal channeling with Adronis. But throughout the years, yes, again, my entire brainwave states have been stepped up majorly. And like I said, there's times where a person asks me a question and I just start typing things, and I'm actually amazed about what I just typed. I can't believe it. It was not even me typing. It's my hands, right, typing. But when I see exactly what's been typed, it's like, wow, this is the greater self talking. This is spirit talking. And so that's going to happen a lot more when you work to step up your heightened connectivity. So this is one of the things I use. Okay, it's just called the Muse headband. Okay, so you can get these online. Okay, and I don't really use it that much anymore, but I use it here and there on occasion. But this is again where I just basically put this on. I have my smartphone, and then I just start using a program that actually shows your heightened connectivity relating to the brainwave states. Okay. And so they're all stepped up. Every single brainwave state, from the beta to the delta to the gamma, all of it is stepped up through my mind, right? And they're like well within like the hundreds range, etc. So that again is something that you receive when you're channeling, when you're connecting a lot through meditation, when you're just doing a lot of inner self work, inner work, working with love energy as well too, will step up your connectivity. Okay. If you're working with BCR technique every single day, your brainwaves are going to skyrocket. Okay. That's what love energy does to you guys. It's amazing. It brings you into these pristine prime forms. Okay. The 24/7 healing will actually assist you as well too with stepping up your brainwaves. Okay. That's going to be part of the daily vitality. It's encouraging. It's not really doing it, but it's encouraging those energy waves to go up higher. So it's encouraging you to meditate a lot more too. Okay. So thank you, Forrest, for your question. So guys, I think we're going to take about 2 more questions, and I think we're going to wrap up. Okay. Let's go down the list here a bit more. Yeah, someone says, I'm so looking into Spirit Valley community. Yeah, like I said, when the timing is right, everything's about timing, right? Okay, I'm just going down the list. I'm just seeing if there's some good questions here that's beneficial for a lot of people. Okay, some people have asked me about this. Lightspeed 612. Adronis, can you share any info on the upcoming Ice Age? Okay. Some people have been talking to me about this and saying, oh, Brad, is there an Ice Age coming? Is there an Ice Age coming? So yes, why don't I go ahead and bring Adronis in, and he can share some insight on the idea of an Ice Age. Okay, one moment. You're here. And we thank you very much for your question. Is there an upcoming Ice Age? To some particular degree, yes, but it is not going to be as devastating as many of you believe in that particular way. Everything pertaining to what you feel has been prophesied on your planet has actually been, shall we say, filtered to a greater degree, involving less harm. So, yes, there will be certainly, as you would say, cold winters coming along many of your plains in that way, along your landscapes, around your countries. But in the idea of an actual ice age, to where you would say that a continent itself has been completely covered in ice, no. That is not what's coming. So the idea is that there are certain degrees to where if nothing was being done behind the scenes, then yes, something like that could take place. But the idea of an ice age in that particular degree, the greatest form of interpretation we could give to that would be what you would term as a miniature ice age. And what that relates to in that sense is a little bit more colder conditions around your planet, specifically around the areas of the northern and some areas of very lightly the southern hemisphere, but more so in the areas of the northern hemisphere, where there may be, in that sense, more extreme cold conditions. But this will not lead to the idea of an entire continent being completely, shall we say, shrouded with ice, where there would be, in that sense, a great deal of casualties. You're not going in those directions. So what is taking place is that you're seeing signs of what could lead into an ice age, but you're also going to see a lot of signs that are coming forward that's actually helping to prevent what that can represent. So therefore, the idea of the shifts within your own climate will start to change a lot more significantly in the years to come. There will also be some certain forms of orbital changes as well too. You also have to understand that the coronal mass ejections that you're actually getting from your sun actually help to balance that phenomena as well. So no, we would not say that it is leading to a calamity pertaining to an ice age, but somewhat to the idea of a miniature version, yes, to some degree, but it will not lead to a massive loss of life. All right? We thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much, Lightspeed, for your question. Thank you, Adronis, for coming through on it. Okay, so I think we'll take one more question here, guys, and we're going to wrap up. Okay. Okay, here's one I think we'll end on this one. This is from I Am Me. Hello, Brad. When I sit down to meditate, I start yawning right away. Some people are saying that it is good. My vibration is going up, but I'm finding it distracting. Does yawning have any meaning? Well, yawning is a purging, right? It purges a lot of the toxicity out of our body. Yawning is a natural side of it. This is why sometimes we start talking about yawning, people want to start yawning, right? It's a natural effect that's helping to purge a lot of stale energy in that way. So yes, it's a good thing, but it's also letting your body know that it's pretty toxic, okay? It's letting your body know that it's pretty stagnant. So this is why there's sometimes people who obsessively yawn. I mean, certainly I've been there as well too, right? Where we're just yawning a lot because maybe we're very inactive in the day, maybe we haven't been eating too well, we're not really exercising, right? And that hits stagnancy within our body. So the yawning is a side effect relating to purging a lot of dense, stagnant energy out of our body, right? And it can be contagious. And it is actually contagious, right? You're here seeing a person yawn, you're getting that blast of all that dense energy in your face, and now you start yawning, right? It is actually contagious, believe it or not, okay? So when you yawn, okay, very important because you're passing that on to others as well too. It's dense energy, it's stagnant energy, and it's almost like as if you were to sneeze right in a person's face. Okay, not very, very polite. All right. So you want to be aware of that. Yawning does project that dense energy onto others, and it enters their field. Okay. This can actually be done remotely as well too. If you actually see me, guys, right now, right, some of you are going to start yawning as well too, because it's actually contagious remotely at the same time. So my suggestion, that, okay? So you're basically covering that up. You're not spreading your dense, stagnant energy to anyone's, because this can be remotely given as well too. This is why scientists haven't really been able to figure it out and saying, yeah, it's kind of contagious, but we're not really too sure about what yawning is doing. And, you know, if you're asking the yogis in that sense, so yeah, this is all part of you expelling dense energy, stagnant energy out of your body, stagnant prana. Right? So this is what you need to do. You need to start refreshing yourself. Your body is telling you you're building up too much stagnancy. You know, sometimes we're not getting enough rest, but that's not the case as well too. It's our diet, right? So it's relating to the food that we intake. So again, like I said, we're not getting enough exercise. We got a little too much emotional issues within ourselves, and it's creating yawning, right? So if you are yawning obsessively, then basically your body is pretty toxic. Okay, so you want to make sure you're clearing that out. You want to get some exercise going. You want to start doing some deep breathing, right? Deep breath in, deep breath out. Start awakening yourself up a lot more. Get into creative mode, right? Start doing some creative things, right? Work with good, healthy eating. Drink some water, etc. Just get yourself more into an active energy state. But if you're yawning, that's what I recommend, okay? That's again why people start yawning as well too. Then they start noticing that they get this fatigue hit, right? You notice that when you're okay, all of a sudden a person starts yawning, and you start yawning, and now you start just getting this feeling of fatigue, like, oh my God, I feel really tired. I feel really tired. My body feels all of a sudden kind of sluggish. Well, that's because it's contagious, right? It's doing a lot more than actually COVID is, right? Is when you're actually yawning and you're just expelling that energy and you're putting it onto another person. Like I said, it can happen physically and it can happen remotely as well too. So guard your yawns. All right. So if you're yawning like that, okay, that would be my recommendation here, because that is something that is contagious. You'll notice that if a person is really, really active, really, really feeling good, and even if a person yawns in front of them, they're not even affected by it. There's been days where I'm so active, I'm feeling so good that there's a person in front of me like yawning, I'm not even affected by it, right? Because my energy feels very, very fresh, feels very active, very strong, and I'm not yawning at the same time that guy is yawning or that girl is yawning. Okay. So that's something else to know, is get yourself very, very active. Move yourself into an open state. Meditate, right? BCR technique, meditation, right? Eat good, drink some water, right? Deep breathing. That will help you in just making your body active and just detoxifying a lot of that. It's not to say that yawning is bad. It is a good thing, but try to do it privately if you can. Try not to pass it into other people's fields. Okay? Thank you very much, I Am Me, for your question. And we're going to wrap up for today. Thank you, everybody, for all of your questions today. I really appreciate it. And again, join me tomorrow, where I will be doing the Adronis Earth, the Ground University. I think it's right here. There we go. So Adronis Earth, the Ground University, again, is happening tomorrow, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. Okay, like I said, I think there's a couple spots left. I don't know, maybe it's all sold out now. So I'm seeing quite a few new emails coming in now. But that's going to be happening tomorrow. Once that is done, then the recorded copy of Earth, the Grand University will be going on to Vimeo with the previous ones, okay? Because I've done previous webinars before, and they're on Vimeo as well, too. So you'll be able to purchase it on Vimeo. For those of you who have already purchased, you'll get a recorded copy 24 hours after the event sent to your email, okay? Thank you, everybody, for today, and I'll speak to you all again in another perspective of the now. Take care.